Whew. How are we doing out there? So, energy update for you. How I'm feeling it, how I see that's processing and going through us, through our bodies, is a huge heart awakening. It's a massive opening of our heart chakra. It's the next level up that we're going to be experiencing individually and collectively throughout the world. So how you will see it with individually in yourself, and how that then oscillates and magnifies in the world as well. And so the last few days I experienced like a weird like an anxiety, palpitations in my chest area from my sternum. And anxiety isn't something necessarily I get, and certainly don't get it from a visceral feeling perspective. So I was quite intrigued and curious as to what this was. So I just tuned into it, and it's like this is another level of our hearts awakening and opening, the opening of our hearts. It started a lot through 2020, beginning with COVID, and we have been going through these on each next levels, and we are going through another upgrade. Is the only way I can share that with you. And when you do this consciously, when you go through heart awakening and heart consciousness, heart and mind coherence, you navigate it with a little bit more grace and ease, okay? And actually you can navigate it with a bit more curiosity as well, because you trust and you know that it's working out for your highest and greatest good. So you can soften into that. So when you feel an anxiety, a fluttering of the heart and everything else, just know that there's something awakening within us. And if we're not doing this consciously, if we hold ourselves tightly and keep ourselves restricted, we will feel that much more viscerally, much more physically. We may experience that as heightened, even more heightened levels of anxiety. Like that was what I felt. I was shown that in my body to show and express this and what we're going to be experiencing. It's also the heart chakra, so it's linking to our lungs, so it just naturally falls in place with the equinoxes and in this time of year, as the leaves of the trees are shedded, they're letting go, they're releasing. This is what we are needing to do. We're needing to purge, so our lungs will be getting this purge as well. And we need to be, and blood pressure, so lots of different things, anything that linking to CO2, O2, your levels, your oxygen levels, your heart, your ability to receive is the big one, okay? So if you are a giver and always giving away and not allowing yourself to receive, this will be coming up. There'll also be possibly guilt or things that are laid heavy on your heart that you need to be able to let go of. So, you know, forgiveness is huge. Forgiveness comes through like a sword of light and just cuts all the crap, okay? Forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others, the ability to recognize that we are all united, and so if we have lost somebody, they're still there in your heart. The frequency and the love that you have for them is still there in your heart. In fact, actually, when you connect into that, you can feel them. You feel the joy. Grief may also process through as you connect into that. Tears may flow. Now, what I'm saying here is really what we need to be able to navigate this much more gracefully and comfortably is create space and time, and to be in your body, as you could probably gather done by the beach. And I've needed this. I felt quite not discombobulated, but just not quite feeling in my body, and like you're working on just autopilot, so the subconscious, and I needed to get into my body. So cold water swimming is my thing. So I suggest to you, do your thing, create space, create time, and do action that means really noticing that you're in your body, okay? What gives you all the feels, whether it's pleasure, whether it's running, whether it's sea swimming. I'm not saying take alcohol and nice and good food. This is about how you can really feel into your body, really feel connected, get grounded, get barefoot on the earth, okay? Which is exceptionally good, because actually what that does to our blood cells, it gives them space, enables them to flow. So often with blood pressure and different issues and stagnancy is when the blood cells get stuck together and they can't move and flow as easily. Whereas when you're grounding, it gives the ability for free electrons, allows the blood cells, it gives it space to move. Okay, so this is all about grounding, being in your body, giving yourself space, try and go with the flow. What can you let go of that is resistance, that's causing a blockage within you, within your mind, within your heart? And start to bring in curiosity of yourself, be more the observer of self without judgment, because often we don't want to look into things because we hold judgment or we fear judgment, where it's only our own judgment. So we need to be a little bit more curious of ourselves, the observer of self, and hold compassion for ourselves. And if we have done things wrong or we feel we have, just give yourself some love and understanding and bring in the energy of forgiveness to help yourself move this through. So this huge heart awakening is on a collective level, is most likely, it's like a light that's in your heart, your sovereignty, your pureness, that your innocence in here is opening up even more. So it's breaking free through all the layers and the belief systems that block your light, that block you from being present, that block being heard, being seen and connected. And we're seeing such the opposite, the polar opposites of this in the media anyway, because they like to play on division of divide and rule and harvest your energy. But what we're being shown is like so much division and separation. Yet what is bringing that up to the surface is actually truth. It's love, it's unconditional love is bringing that up to the surface to be seen. So what your physical response is and feeling is this pureness of consciousness coming up to show you where you are blocked. And this is happening on a collective level again of where we're blocked, where we're not here as sovereign beings, where we've given our power away, where there's infrastructures and systems that block you from your sovereignty and your power and your abundance. All that's coming up, and then it's quite easy to drop into what you're seeing and believing that's the only thing. But for that to be existing, so does the opposite, the positive. For a negative exist, so does the positive. To know that this negativity and this chaos is actually a very dynamic force underneath it, which is releasing and purging us of all our belief systems that has us deny our sovereignty and our power. And the systems are very good in manipulating separation and feeding that. We feed it and keep creating it if we stay into that narrative. Actually, what we need to recognize that we are all one, and we're powerful together as we support one another for the collective highest good. Okay, this is the heart awakening. We're having to shift it through because we're at this pinnacle tipping point for humanity to finally honor their sovereignty and their power and recognize where they've given away through religion, through governance, through infrastructures, through money. All of this is coming up to be seen. Okay, and don't get disheartened with what's going on in the world. Don't give all your energy and focus into that. Know that this is coming up for us to purge. So put your power in what you can do. If you want more peace in the world, bring more inner peace. You need to be the change. As soon as we think we're powerless, we become in hopeless victim energy, and this is what renders us in and stays us stuck. We need to recognize that we can influence through inspiration for our own changes. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you, and hopefully this will just be a breaker, a pattern in your mind that you can start making these different shifts. And if you are experiencing anxiety, feeling discombobulated, not knowing what to do, just feeling like you're on autopilot, just not quite connected to self, get into nature and connect to nature, connect to Mother Earth, this conscious being that we all are on, and remember that connection, okay? And be grounded. Get into your body, get into Earth, because ultimately that is the only truth. Everything else is the illusion, the infrastructures. That isn't our truth. We have to remember and come back into our bodies and back into Earth. And when you do that, and you do that with your breath, you will start to find your axis recognize the chaos around you and the storm around you, but you're not in it and you're not feeding it. You become the curious observer of self and the whole world, okay? And you hold boundaries and you hold discernment. So lots of love. If you need to know more, you can come to the infinityhealthhub.com, where there's lots more tools that you can support you on this journey of consciousness, through meditation, through more articles to make you understand, podcasts. If you're I can do online consultations with you to hold you through this, and also one-to-one. So there's many ways that we can support ourselves through this, and the first breakthrough is generally becoming aware. Okay, awareness creates conscious choices. As soon as you become aware that you're powerful, that you have choice, that you can influence through your choices and your emotions, and that actually your love, joy and peace and everything else isn't your truth, and you're learning the unlearning, that's when the magic begins. So lots of love, peeps, and it's exciting times. Take care.